Hello, this is Ina from Books and Boy Bands and welcome to this reading vlog. So, I haven't really did an update yet. It's already Tuesday, but I also haven't done much reading yet. Yesterday, I decided to start this arc I was sent via NetGalley. It's called Mortgage of Convenience by Dani McLean, and it is here. So far, I have just reached chapter 2 of the book. I have about 3 hours and 49 minutes remaining still. I don't know yet what to expect, but what I do know is that this is a story about a ghostwriter and she messed up on something, and because of that she has to move back to her brother's place, and there she would meet again her brother's best friend. I think they already have this something already. I don't know if it's just the vibes or something, but they seem to be attracted to each other way before this thing happened, because her brother, on the first chapter, when her brother picked her up, he is kind of teasing her already that she's gonna meet his best friend again. So there's that. Really, there's not much I could say about this book yet. Just let's see what happens.
We always knew exactly where to meet until you messed it up. I wonder if you go to the same places, and if our paths will cross. Where did things go wrong? Don't want to pretend this doesn't make sense. Why am I the backup friend? Don't want to pretend this doesn't make sense.
Hey, I'm back for a reading update, and so far, I know you haven't seen much reading, but I did finish 2 books already for this reading vlog, and the first one is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, or Michaelides. So this is a very popular thriller book, and I've seen it a lot. I did have a copy of it before from Book of the Month, but I already sold that. I don't know why I haven't picked it up, but I was inspired by Stephanie Sue, if you know her. She has 3 YouTube channels: Stephanie Sue, Miss Mango Bot, and Rotten Mango. And I fell into a rabbit hole of Stephanie Sue after loving Rotten Mango, her true crime podcast and video channel here on YouTube. So after finishing all the videos, I'm just going through her podcast, and I also, whenever I'm craving visual content, I did start watching her old videos on her 2 other channels. So one of the series in her channel is called Baking a Murderer, or it eventually transformed to Baking a Mystery, where she reviews books, movies, and series that she did enjoy. After watching every video where I already read the book or watched the series or movie, I started from, and I looked into her other videos, and one of the first Baking a Mystery video is for a book review for The Silent Patient. So I decided to listen to the audiobook so that I can watch her video. And after finishing The Silent Patient, let me just say that it's a really good thriller. So basically, the premise of The Silent Patient is that there is a woman who shot her husband in the face 5 times, and she never spoke again. So she is in a mental institution, and she meets this psychotherapist called Gabe. And in the book, we see the story through the eyes of Gabe, and we are going to unravel why he is fascinated in her case. Why did he want to cover her case, and what really happened, what's behind our main character not speaking at all. So yeah, I did like it. I rated it 4 stars. And I think what affected my rating is that I kind of saw the plot twists coming. I did have a hard start, like until maybe 30% of the book. It's an audiobook. Usually I don't get bored with audiobooks, but I got bored with this one. It really took time in, setting the tone for the story. I think if it was more fast-paced, it would definitely be 5 stars for me, even though I guessed all the plot twists of the book. But, there's nothing really bad about it. It's just that it took time to speed up. So if you're, I guess, a fan of slow burn, you'd definitely like it. And the plot twist came as a surprise for many people. And even though I guessed actually what happened in the book, I still liked how it all played out, especially with how the story ended. I liked the little shock factor thing that the author, as well as the justice thing that the author gave us at the end of the story. So there's that. The second book I was able to finish for this reading vlog is an ARC, an advanced copy. Though technically not advanced anymore because this book has been published last 2021. And I only got to read my ARC copy a few days ago. And it's Where It All Lands by Julie Whexler. I did a quick book talk about this one because it has a fascinating premise. And I haven't read a book on this style in a while. So it's a young adult contemporary romance. And in this story, we have Shane, Drew, and our main character, Stevie, from Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. That's why I remember. So, Stevie is a daughter of a football coach. So, she does change cities every few years because of her dad's changing of jobs. But, this is not something she likes. She hates not having roots anywhere, and she moves to this small town or city, I forgot already, but this place where she meets best friends Shane and Drew. So there is an attraction for both of these guys. They really want to make the moves on her and ask her out, but they are best friends. So to avoid further drama, they do what they always do when it comes to making decisions and toss a coin. So whoever, whether it lands on heads or tails, Drew or Shane would be the one to ask our main character out. So I enter this book blindly and I get to experience what would happen if Stevie and Drew end up together, how her relationship with Drew would become, and how her relationship with Shane would become. It also, touches on her academic performance, her dream. She is very musically inclined. The book is very musically inclined, and she has this dream of auditioning for, I think, the regional band. And it's a really big part of the story. And her relationships with Drew, Shane, her parents, and friends has an effect on her success on this band audition. So, in the middle part of the book, I was suddenly surprised that there was a big climax moment that I was like, oh, and understood how the story opened because it was a surprise the way this story opened. And then I get transformed into the part where Tails won and Shane is the one who's gonna ask Stevie out. So that's when I realized that this book is told in dual timelines. So that's where we find out if the grass is really greener on the other side. So we get to see the story again, but it has really, really different outcomes with Stevie's relation to her family, to Shane, to Drew, to this girl in school, and to her best friend that she left behind from her former city. So you get to see these two different stories. You get attached, and both have their heartbreaking moments, heartwarming moments, coming of age moments. And I was really surprised. You actually get two endings on this one. So you get to see the ending when on the side where Drew won, and you get to see the ending on the side where Shane won. So if you're the type of person who doesn't like, kind of open endings because there's two multiple endings, this might not be the perfect read for you, but I did enjoy it because I got an attachment to the characters. I liked them. I understood them even though they are young adults that make mistakes. I did not really have problems with this book, and throughout the journey, I decided to give Where It All Lands 4 stars. It was an enjoyable read, and unlike it had a premise that is unlike most books I've been picking up lately. So I guess that was a plus factor for me to give it 4 stars. Now we go to the final book, and it's Mortgage of Convenience by Dani McLean. The main reason why I decided to start this reading vlog is because I was sent the ARC, the advanced copy of this book, and it published last February 27. It's the 3rd of March already, unfortunately, because of this. And next week would be one of my busiest weeks ever for this year. So it was really hard to squeeze in reading time. But yeah, today I have plans on finishing the book. To be honest with you, it's already 7 p.m. I'm hoping to finish this book before 12 midnight, just like our dear old Cinderella. We're currently at 33% of the book, and according to our Kindle timeline, I have 3 hours to finish the book. I usually read faster than what Kindle estimates anyway, so I'm sure I'm gonna finish this one and give you the final update of the reading vlog later. But yeah, this book so far, what I know about the book, up to the 33%, there's not much happening yet romance wise, but we get to discover the qualities of our main characters. Wow, I can't remember names. So I really can't remember the name of the guy, but the girl's name is B, and B is a ghostwriter. And on a day when she got drunk, she mistakenly sent the manuscript of a novel she's been playing around with to her agent, and they actually liked it. So they wanted her to make a novel out of it and try dipping her toes into being an author herself, because she has written so many books already for a lot of people. And with that brash decision, she did another brash decision to move from that state to her hometown, move back to her hometown, and she ended up staying, buying a house, getting a mortgage with her brother's best friend. This guy, I can't remember the name. So he is a stripper. So there's a lot to unpack in this relationship. B had a crush on him already when she met him way back then, but she was still very young. I think she was barely 19 at that time, and there is a huge age gap that I for the life of me can't remember. But yeah, there's a huge age gap. And yeah, of course, because he is her brother's best friend. But her brother actually acknowledges he is aware that she has a crush on him. And I think her brother is also aware that he has a crush on her. So yeah, they ended up buying this house, sharing the expenses together. And right now we are at the stage where there's a lot of tension because there is forced proximity. Our main character is very closed off, and she is starting to open and bloom with his acknowledgement, acceptance, motivation. They really have a lot of these deep talks. This book is dual POV, by the way, so we see her, why she's closed off, why she is a little hesitant, and a lot of her thirsting for this guy. During the guy's POV, we see him wanting so many things for her, and then sharing his own struggles in his life, and then thirsting a lot for her. We are 33% in. They haven't really surrendered to these urges yet. The main steamy thing that I have encountered here is they did have, just a few pages before filming this video, they have a discussion on what their kinks are. So basically, we have here a touch of our main character being intrigued by somnophilia, and I think it's gonna be a crucial part later on in the book with their steamy scenes. So yeah, so far that's all I can update on the books I have been reading, and now we're going to get back into reading, and then later I'll give you an update once I finish the book.
That's why am I the backup friend? You'd use me then dispose of me. You talk behind my back and make me feel so insecure and lonely, like I wasn't good enough.
finally back with another reading update. After a few days that were very, very busy, I was finally able to finish reading this book. And again, it's Mortgage of Convenience by Dani McLean. And I'm sure I talked about this a few seconds ago, but this is a contemporary romance written about this ghostwriter who moves back home after making a drunken mistake of sending her manuscript to her editor. She works as a ghostwriter for mostly biographies of different interesting people, and she never really did try to pursue doing this on her own because she is a very closed off, very guarded person. It doesn't want to be vulnerable and famous as an author. So she wanted to stay at her brother's house, but ended up taking out a mortgage with her brother's best friend, Sebastian. So as you can see, this book really fits a lot of romance tropes that many readers like me like, which is older brother's best friend. It's kind of a forbidden, it's a secret romance, technically not forbidden, but our main character doesn't know that. And there's forced proximity because they're gonna stay in one room, in one house together, so there's a lot of sizzling tension. This book is also very, very steamy. Spice level is quite high. Just a mini, like for instance, there is somnophilia in this book, so if you're not into a deeper, kinkier romance read, then I guess this book would not be for you if you're gonna be freaked out a bit about that. So yeah, what else can I say? Overall, I rated it 4 stars because I did personally enjoy the book. Again, I was relating a lot to the main character because we have similar job titles. We are both ghostwriters, just in different fields of writing. So I did relate to her quite a bit. I love how she talked about how much she loved reading and how much she loved writing, because I guess most authors are also readers, if not all. And I loved Sebastian. He is actually a very sunshiny male lead, and he was very protective of her. He really did fall hard. Even in the first pages, he is already very, very attached because they already know each other way back when, and this is kind of their second chance into romance. I love how he was very patient and how he really believed in her and how he wanted her to get out of her shell. So the thing about this book, I think, is it's quite a long read compared to other contemporary romances. It's around 400 pages, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's because it's not mainly a romance. Throughout the book, it's also the main character's self-development journey from being a very shy, hesitant, and doubtful person to someone who is finally believing in herself and pursuing her dreams, getting out of her shell, trying to loosen up a bit, accepting that she doesn't have control of many, many things, accepting her vulnerability as well. Our male lead also has his own issues, particularly with his family, with his father, and all the problems they also have personally are addressed and fixed within the story. So I guess those things added up to the a reason why this book is quite a long one compared to other romance novels. But if you want a balance of like angst, fluff, and steam in your reads, then I really, really suggest you pick up Mortgage of Convenience. So yeah, that ends our reading vlog for this week. I'm very, very happy with the reads that I was able to do, and I'm excited to do more reading vlogs in the future. Hopefully, I improve more as time passes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, especially if you're still here at the end of this video. And please do comment any suggestions, any things you'd like me to do, books that you would like me to read, and all of that. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you and bye.